So I'll admit that I was a bit sceptical when I watched footage of Back 4 Blood. There's been footage knocking around for quite a long time now, and so even when I downloaded it for my Xbox Series S, I was like, yeah, do we really need another Left 4 Dead A to B cooperative zombie shooter? You know, because there's been a lot of zombie games out, hasn't there? And you know, I'm a big fan. You know, I love Zombie Army Trilogy. I love Zombie Army 4. Play a bit of COD Zombies. You know, I enjoy player versus environment zombie games. But do we need another Left 4 Dead style one? And I have to say that after putting in probably 2 to 3 hours of Back 4 Blood, oh yes, we do. This is a really fun shooter. So in this video, I'm kind of gonna address the question, you know, first impressions review, and I guess, should you buy this game? And first impressions, when you first start playing it, you're like, okay, yeah, this is Left 4 Dead. And then what happens is you'll get to play with some of the different guns. So there's submachine guns, there's assault rifles, there's sniper rifles, there's shotguns, there's melee weapons, and they're done very, very well indeed. So you can have a nice M4 assault rifle, or you can have a SCAR, or you can have a MP5 or an UMP or a M249, and have a lot of fun shooting at zombies. And then you can add attachments to your guns as well as you're running around. So you can have a sniper scope, a ACOG, you could put hollow sight, a red dot, compensator silencer, extended mags, all that sort of stuff. So the gunplay is really good, and I've really enjoyed that. And shooting the zombies is fun. A little bit hectic, but some of the levels are very atmospheric as well. So basically within the game at the moment, and remember this is just impressions from the beta, so you have the campaign that you can play through in co-op, or remember you play it with solo and the game throws you in with some, then the bots seem okay, they pick you up when you go down, they seem alright at shooting the enemies. And there's a versus mode as well where you can do PvP. I haven't played any of that at the moment, and it all looks good. On my Series S it seems to be flying along at 60 frames a second. Looks very nice, plays very nice, sounds very nice. You may well see in a couple of my videos that I'll put up straight away where I actually had the wrong contrast settings in the game. I'd somehow managed to turn the contrast down to 0, so everything looked a bit washed out, but increasing the contrast looks very, very good. So it's a good game. Then we have the rather more complicated question of, should you buy it? Obviously it's a good game, so at some point you should probably think about buying it, but it's not a cheap game at all. You're looking, say on the PlayStation 5, you're looking at 60 quid for the base version, £90 for the version that comes with the annual pass. So the idea is they're going to be adding stuff as they go along, and £100 for the super duper version where you get extra stuff as well. Let's have a look. So on something like an Xbox One, let's see how much it costs there. I'm just on the website as well. So we'll look. Oh gosh, the super duper version is £100. The standard version is 60. So it's not a cheap game to buy. Would I be buying it for my say I had a PlayStation 5? I've got a PlayStation 4, but let's say I had a PlayStation 5. Would I be buying this game? I'm not sure I would at £60. That is an awful lot of money. In fact, I'm going to suggest something else. I think what you should do is, if you've got a PlayStation 4 and you're thinking about getting a PlayStation 5, I think you should seriously think about getting an Xbox Series S. Alright? That's what I've got. Because I had a PlayStation 4, wanted a PlayStation 5, couldn't get one, and ended up with the Series S. And the reason for that is that if you pick up an Xbox Series S for £250, you're getting a next-gen console that can do 1080p 60 frames a second, 1440p 60 frames a second, scales up to 4K. So it's got a bit of horsepower behind it. It's significantly better than what you've got already, and to be honest, in lots of situations keeps up with its more expensive Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. But it's available, you can get one. But what you do is you combine that with Microsoft Game Pass Ultimate, and then for £10 a month, or it might be £11 a month, you get all these free games, Back 4 Blood. So Back 4 Blood is a day and date release. So when this this game comes out in October, I think it is, if you've got Game Pass, you can download it and you can play it straight away without having to pay anything else at all. Now, in the long term, you might want to get the season pass or something like that for it. But you get that. You basically get in, not really for free because you've got to have Game Pass Ultimate, but you're not paying any extra for it. That way, if you don't like it, you haven't put 60 quid down the drain. But you're also getting amazing games like Halo and Microsoft Flight Simulator and all this sort of stuff. And if you were to just add up a few of those games, say, and I know some of these aren't available on PlayStation, but games like Back 4 Blood, games like Microsoft Flight Simulator, games like Halo, and then, for example, next year we've got games like the new Stalker coming out as well. And there's lots of other great games on the series on Game Pass Ultimate. Pretty much the price of the console is less than the price of buying these games separately. And the other really good thing about something like the Xbox Series S, apart from the fact you've got Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is really cool, is it's much better at playing older games better than a PlayStation 5 is, unless they update it in the future. So games like PUBG, games like DayZ, games like The Division, Microsoft do things like Frame Boost, where they take old games and they make them run at 60 frames a second now, or even faster. Like Battlefield 4 will go up to 120 frames a second, I think, on an Xbox Series X. Battlefield 1, a true 60 frames a second at 1080p. Very, very nice indeed. So maybe think about that. That would be my advice. If you're looking at Back 4 Blood and thinking, I really like the look of this, and you've got a PlayStation 4 and you're thinking about a PlayStation 5, or you've got an Xbox One, you've got an Xbox One S or an Xbox One X, think about getting an Xbox One S and Xbox Series S and Game Pass Ultimate, because then you're getting the game that way. Anyway, so I don't know what you think. Otherwise, I would say wait for it to go into a sale, because this game at £30, or it will be an absolute bargain, because it seems to be an awful lot of fun. As for me, I am really glad I've got a Series S. I'm really glad I've got Game Pass Ultimate, and I'm really, really looking forward to the full release of this and playing through it, because I think the game looks great. The gunplay is really fun as well. So, what do you think? Put your questions and comments down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will, of course, see you again soon.